0869-465-2555. Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Good morning, and welcome to The Edge for Friday, April 5th, 2024. I am Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me. Good morning to those of you who are listening via the FM band or the AM band, or those of you viewing via TV and our social media our social media platforms. Good morning to those of you residing in St. Kitts and Nevis in the Caribbean region, or in the diaspora, the United States of America, Canada, the UK, and other parts of the world. Good morning, and you're listening to The Edge for Friday, April 5th, 2024. And again, thank you so much for joining me on the program for today. It's just 3 minutes past, and we're going to get into our conversation for today. And I will be looking at two topics, politics and tourism. And I would like to get your participation, of course, and you can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. That's 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Those are the numbers you call to participate in the conversation for today. And as I said, we are also live on social media. You can participate there as well. So on the local scene, in terms of our local politics, the Honorable Sean Richards, parliamentary representative for St. Christopher 5, has decided that he will not seek re-election as leader of the People's Action Movement, PAM, the main opposition party here in St. Kitts. At the end of the current 3-year term, the PAM will see a new leader. The announcement was made during a press conference held by the political party on April 4, 2024. He said, quote, "As the longest-serving People's Action Movement parliamentarian and Sandy Point representative, I am proud of my unwavering dedication to constituents and our guiding principles. As I reflect on this extraordinary chapter as your leader in the People's Action Movement, I am filled with hope and confidence in our continued progress and prosperity. He continued by saying the achievements we have realized, the challenges we have overcome, and the resilience we have displayed serve as a testament to our collective strength and unwavering commitment to the principles that guide us. We did weather many trials and tribulations together, economic hardships, natural disasters. Each challenge threatened to break our stride. But time and time again, our resilience shone through, reminiscent of that mustard seed of faith that moves mountains. Our party remained steadfast, a spiritual family united by the unbreakable bonds of shared principles and love of country. He said, I stand at crossroads in my career on our party's journey. After deep reflection on our collective achievements and the path ahead, I have made a decision born from love for our party and belief in the principles of leadership renewal. With a heart full of gratitude and hope, I sit before you today to humbly announce my decision not to seek leadership at our next convention, when this current 3-year term comes to an end. Therefore, I am officially stepping down as the leader of the People's Action Movement. End of quote. The party leader explained his decision to step down, but assured that he will remain committed to the party. And so, at the end of the term, he said, I'm officially stepping down, and at the end of the term, he will not be seeking re-election. I think the party will hold their convention internal elections, I think in June of this year, or just before June of this year. He said, quote, this decision was not made lightly, but from a conviction that for our movement to thrive, for our nation to reach new heights, we must embrace transformative change that ushers in new perspectives, ideas, and the vibrant energy of fresh leadership. I am stepping aside and make room for that leadership to take the helm and carry forward the torches of progress, innovation, and unity. Richards has served 5 consecutive terms as the representative constituency number 5 and has been serving as political leader of the People's Action Movement since 2012. That is on the local scene, and as I mentioned, this was announced on Thursday during a press conference hosted by the People's Action Movement. I remember some time ago, Mr. Richards had hinted that he would be stepping away from the leadership, and I guess ultimately in the future from politics, as he has been in politics for some time and has been making his contribution. But he hinted some time ago in a social media post on Facebook that he would be stepping away from politics, but he did not specify whether it would be from the leadership of the party or if it would be from actual representation as the parliamentary representative. And so he has since come out and spoke on that he will not be seeking re-election. And of course it brings the question of not brings the question, but rather people, of course, will be looking forward to who will be taking the helm as the new leader of the party. I cannot speak to that. What I can tell you is that the party will be holding their elections this year, and they will be choosing a new leader. As is customary with the party and other parties in the Federation, they have annual elections, and they elect a new national executive, political leader, what have you. And for the People's Action Movement, it will be no different. It's 9 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and you are listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I am Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me at the program for today. We'll open the phone lines later at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. On the topic of tourism, and we had a brief chat about this yesterday, but on the topic of tourism, I came across an article done by Yolanda Weeks at WIN, and it made reference to the 6 senses. I think it was in late 2020 or early 2021 thereabout, when the news of 6 senses coming to St. Kitts was first made available to the public. It was released that the government would be entering into an agreement or something like that for 6 senses to come to the country. And of course, you know, whenever an announcement of a hotel is coming to the country, people, I think for the most part, usually get excited because you see that as an economic booster for the country in terms of jobs and not just long-term, but you have the short-term jobs in terms of the actual construction of the hotel, and then you have the short-term jobs, the long-term jobs, sorry, in terms of the people who would be employed there. And so when you hear of a hotel coming to the country, you get excited and you say, okay. However, that did not come to fruition. I'm not entirely sure of what took place, but I think it was perhaps related to COVID, or the agreement did not go through, and so they decided to move their investment to Grenada. I think that is Range Developments. They developed the Park Hyatt here in St. Kitts, and they moved to Grenada to develop. So 6 Senses is 6 Senses La Sagis Grenada is a government-owned or a government-approved investment under its CBI program, recently rebranded the Investment Migration Program. It is the first ever 6 Senses hotel in the Caribbean. Its other locations include Maldives, Vietnam, Thailand, Asia, Portugal, China, France, the Middle East, Turkey, Singapore, and Europe. Those are the parts of the country. But I vividly remember when it was announced that, you know, the 6 Senses would be coming to St. Kitts. But the reason why I wanted to bring this topic to you guys in terms of tourism, we know, yes, tourism is our bread and butter, and most countries in the Caribbean, most of their revenue, or a significant portion of their revenue and the economic activity in their country comes from tourism, right? Whether it be at the large scale in terms of flights coming in, or hotels being constructed, or people filling these hotels. You also have the small people, or what we say the small man on the road, the taxi operators, the vendors, and so all of these people contribute to the tourism in our region. But we know that tourism is something that Caribbean economies and Caribbean governments have been paying a lot of attention to and have been investing in for quite some time. Lately, since the Sustainable Development Goals and Sustainable Island State Agenda, there has been a decision to shift the focus elsewhere. And so instead of this heavy focus on tourism and even the CBI program, the focus has been put on other parts of the economy in terms of the build out of our agricultural sector, improving healthcare, improving education, and getting people trained in other priority areas. And so areas that we don't really have much here in St. Kitts and Nevis, they're looking to get our nationals trained in those areas, right? But this development going to Grenada instead of coming to St. Kitts, I want to get your thoughts, views, and opinions on this. It is 15 minutes past. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will entertain your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. You are listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Get ready to ignite your Tuesday nights with a show that's as educational as it is entertaining. Welcome to Pleasure Pulse, your weekly guide to the world of sex education. Join Roma every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. exclusively on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. It's the perfect way to spice up your midweek routine and get answers to all your burning questions. Whether you're looking for relationship advice or curious about the art of intimacy, Roma's got you covered. Pleasure Pulse, every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. only on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Don't miss out. Your sex education journey starts this Tuesday with Roma as your guide.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me in the program. I am receiving reports coming out of the U.S. that a 4.8 magnitude earthquake rattled New York City and beyond. It says that the United States Geological Survey reported the quake about 10:23 a.m. There were no immediate reports of damage. I'm also seeing reports on social media, known nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis who are reporting that they felt the earthquake there in New York and New Jersey and most of the East Coast. One person is saying that they even felt it in Washington, D.C. A magnitude 4.8 earthquake there in New York. If you're listening to The Edge, I am encouraging you to call and tell us about that experience and basically mark yourself safe. You're listening to The Edge for April 5th, 2024. Let's open the phone lines and we'll begin taking our calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. That's it. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing great. All
right. You sound a bit muffled. Am I hearing you clearly? Could you come closer to the phone or something?
Okay. Are you hearing me any better?
Yes, that's better.
Okay. I was saying, just some food for thought. I remember the last general election, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a big song and dance about Dr. Joe being the leader of the party and did not win his seat.
Mm-hmm.
But my question today, I don't know who wants to answer it, but I just need to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
When the next general election are called, would Pam be contesting that election with a parliamentarian, or the same thing that they was chattering about Dr. Joe did not really see it, and so they have a leader contesting the election, hopefully to be a prime minister. If God forbid that Pam win the election, would the next prime minister from Pam be a representative in parliament? Just a question, and if anybody can answer, can they please answer that for me? Thank you.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. You are listening to The Edge. We have any more callers? Let's take this one. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I am doing fine. And you?
So, the first talk you had about Mr. Sean. Mr. Cornelius, they was going good, and if they did stay good, that would not happen. Anyway, when they was speaking about the Taiwan, my phone was not working, so I could not call. So my heart goes out to them. It could have been anybody else. Taiwan came in Honorable Simmons' time and has done well. They did not want them, but they is the best now. So they are the best now. So when we have to care what we have to care what we have. They might help still, but not as much. So thanks to Honorable Simmons and best Prime Minister Timothy. Have a good weekend. Culture, good night, morning.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls. The first caller commented on the Honorable Sean Richards announcing that he will be stepping down as leader of the People's Action Movement. And I think the question from the caller is, he made reference to when Dr. Drew became leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. At the time, he was not a member of Parliament. So he was not a parliamentarian, but he was leader of the party. And he's saying that at that time, one of the arguments being advanced was that you cannot be, or you should not be, leader of the party and you don't have a seat. So I think that's what he's asking. What is the case now? But this is not new. There are parties all across the region who elect leaders who, at the time of the election, are not members of their country's parliament. Doesn't mean that they won't become members of the parliament after the campaign and all of that. But I think that's what the caller was trying to get at. It is 11:22. You're listening to The Edge in ZIZ Radio. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls. If you are just tuning in, I shared with the listening audience that Sean Richards has announced that he will be stepping down and not he will not be seeking re-election as the leader of the People's Action Movement. And I also wanted to get your thoughts on 6 census going to Grenada instead of St. Kitts. In 2021, it was announced that it will be coming to St. Kitts, but that did not come through. And so the developers, Range Developments, moved to Grenada, and they are now operating there. Your thoughts, views, and opinions on this are absolutely welcomed. Call us and bring your contribution. And also a magnitude 4.8 earthquake just hit New York and New Jersey and most of the East Coast, and according to reports was felt in Washington, D.C. And so if you are in these areas, I am giving you the opportunity to call and mark yourself safe here. It is 11:23 and the phone lines are open. We haven't callers. Let's take this call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Devonne.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah. I wondered if earthquakes in that region are customary. Fault lines actually run through New York, the New York area. Mm-hmm. It would be interesting to know when was the last time they had an earthquake, or if this is a first for that area, or maybe it's related to climate change in some way. You never know. Mm-hmm. Right? But it certainly was somewhat unnerving because, as you know, there are lots of high-rise buildings there. Right? I don't think they've been accustomed to getting hurricanes either, and yet recently they've had some storms. Mm-hmm. So I don't. Maybe something's going on that we don't know. You solicited some thoughts about the six senses.
Yes.
The rumors swirled around that they didn't like how the previous government was handling the CBI, and they upped and left after. I'm not sure if you recall the photo op of them on almost in the deep in the waters in the beach at.
I do remember that. Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So they were in fact prepared to build it here, and so it must have been something dramatic that caused them to pull up stakes and go elsewhere. And that reminds me of the fact that those kinds of financial instruments and the financial industry in general don't like big shocks. Okay, they prefer steady, slow changes if they're going to be made, rather than earth-shattering shocks. And I think that is instructive for the present government, that you don't just overturn things. You'll be very methodical, very careful, meticulous, measured in how you make changes to things like the CBI. Okay, and it's also instructive that they went to Grenada. Grenada is one of the countries that publish detailed information about the CBI. It's open for all to see.
Yes.
Right? And so it's clear that serious, bona fide investors are, in fact, attracted to jurisdictions where the government is operating in an open and transparent way. All right? So I hope we're taking note of that. Right here, the government is still keeping CBI data close to their chest. I'm not sure why. Maybe because, as was said in the press conference, the PAM press conference yesterday, that the numbers are way down, drastically slashed. But if that is the case, then that would have serious implications for government plans and projects and the country generally going forward. And I think the citizens should be aware of these if in fact this is so, and not put it off, because they are the ones who are going to be affected. They are the ones who probably going to have be taxed more to make up for whatever shortfall there may be. So I just thought that it was unfortunate that they left. Hopefully, they can be attracted back by whatever changes are made. But our loss is Grenada's gain, I suppose. Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. Let's take this other call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling to announce my opinion about the situation with Sean Richard. When I was growing up in St. Kitts, Mr. Bradshaw went to Trinidad to be in the Federation, and he was a minister in the House of St. Kitts, but he had no portfolio. So he was elected to represent St. Kitts in the House, but he had no portfolio because he was in Trinidad during the Federation time with Eric Williams and Manley. So it's not unusual for that. I witnessed that as a young man, and I'm 77 years old.
Okay.
Well, so what Sean Richard said is not. Go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but I'm not quite sure how the two relate, because with Sean Richards, he is what I think what the caller was saying before is leaders who become who become leaders of parties, but they're not elected. I think what you're referring to is that Bradshaw was elected, but he ain't had a portfolio at the time. That's what you're saying?
No, exactly. But Mr. Bradshaw was always leader of the Labour Party. whether he was in Sinkers or not, he was always the leader.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your contribution to.
I stand to be corrected, but Mr. Bradshaw always was the leader of the Labour Party, whether he was there presently or he was away in Trinidad.
Yeah, we are aware of that. All right. Thank you for your contribution. Let's hit this other call. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, me again. What the gentleman first just gone was saying, he right, but the fellow asked the question. I was saying, if he not the leader now, and then the election ain't called yet, if he can't go in the house still.
Those are two separate things.
Okay then.
Yeah, those are two separate things. Him stepping down as leader of PAM has absolutely nothing to do with him being the parliamentary representative for St. Christopher 5. They do not relate, because he's the elected representative. And the only how he could not be the elected representative is if he resigns, or if there is an election and he's voted out, or if the unfortunate happens. As it is, Sean Richards is still the parliamentary representative, or elected representative, or member of parliament, whatever you want to call it, for St. Christopher 5. Has nothing to do with him stepping down as leader of the party. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls, 465-2555. Before we take any other callers, though, a caller asked about some history regarding earthquakes in that area. So, according to New York Times, a 2.2 magnitude earthquake rattled parts of New York and New Jersey in May of last year. And a 3.6 magnitude earthquake rocked the town of Adams Center, New York, the month before that. In 2011, a 5.8 magnitude earthquake in Virginia led to the evacuation of City Hall and Midtown office buildings in Manhattan. And the most significant tremors recorded in New York City occurred in 1884, when a 5.2 magnitude earthquake rumbled from beneath Coney Island. So those are some data information with regards to earthquakes in that area. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation for today.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Get ready, St. Kitts and Nevis, for the first annual Jesus in the City Parade and Festival on Saturday, May 18th, 2024 at the Warner Park Stadium. Celebrate love for God and love for people throughout the city with festive floats, live gospel bands, choirs, costumes, banners, and paraders filling the streets of downtown Bastille with praise and worship. The opening festivities kick off at 11 a.m. with the parade leaving Warner Park Stadium at 12 noon, moving along city streets and returning to the stadium for a grand gospel concert celebration. Enjoy music featuring special international guest artists, local bands, food, and festivities for the whole family. Come lift up the name of Jesus in the city on Saturday, May 18th, 2024. To register your church, enter a float, secure a vendor booth, or to become a sponsor, visit jesusinthecity.com or call 662-8911.
Jesus in the city, hands in the air.
Welcome back to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me on the program for today. Citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, or nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis, have taken to social media to mark themselves safe following the magnitude 4.8 earthquake that rattled New York. I'm seeing some comments here on Facebook and some in WhatsApp as well. Some people are marking themselves safe after the earthquake there. Phone lines are open. Let's head back to the phone lines. Hello, caller. Good morning. Hello, good morning. You're on the air. Okay, I'm not hearing that caller. All right. The phone lines are open. Call us at 465-2555. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Devonne.
Hello.
Devonne.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. I was born in St. Kitts. I called it earlier. I was born in St. Kitts, but I'm residing in the Bronx, New York. And I did feel it. I did feel the building move. But it didn't last long. It only lasted about 20 or 30 seconds. But New York had a tremor, I think they say 87 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that we had today, it was only 4.8 on the Richter scale, and I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the building move slightly.
Mm-hmm. Can you say if there were
So I'm a fellow Kittitian calling from New York. I reside in New York.
All right. Can you say if there were any damages or anything?
No, severe damage. Nobody died or nothing.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right.
They said they felt it all the way in Washington, D.C.
Right. I'm seeing reports of that as well.
Yeah, and the epicenter was in New Jersey, in the town in New Jersey.
All right. Thank you.
So it didn't do no damage to the subways or the buildings or nothing. But New York is not on a fault line. So that's why it's so unusual.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, David. I'm a fellow Kittitian. Enjoy.
Thank you for your contribution to the program. We want to take some other callers. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. It is 11:37. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. If you're just tuning in, I shared earlier with the listeners that Sean Richards, the Honorable Sean Richards, has announced that he will be officially stepping down as the leader of the People's Action Movement, and he will not be seeking re-election. And on tourism, Six Senses going to Grenada instead of St. Kitts. Your views, thoughts, and opinions on this. And while making those or sharing that with you, I received reports of a 4.8 magnitude earthquake that rattled New York and nearby areas, with people in Washington, D.C. Reporting that they felt the tremors. Phone lines are open and we want to hear from you. Call us at 465-2555. Your comments on Mr. Richards stepping down as the leader of the People's Action Movement, and Six Senses, if you call Six Senses, coming here, but instead has gone to Grenada. And if I could share some information with you on this to provide a bit of a context, perhaps that would help to refresh your memory. But this was in I think it was in 2018 when it was first announced that the Six Senses brand would be coming to St. Kitts. And I think all right, so I have an article here from the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service dated March 5th, 2018. So it says that the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis joins the list of that joins the list that of exclusive, unique, and exquisite destinations that houses the luxury Six Senses Resort and Spa. At the official signing ceremony on March 4th, at the recently opened Park Hyatt St. Kitts, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Lindsey Grant, expressed his esteemed pleasure of having the five-star plus ultra brand make its Caribbean debut in the island of St. Kitts. So this was for the Park Hyatt, but this was announced in early 2018, and then we saw something in 2021 to say that it would be coming to St. Kitts, but they have since pulled out and have decided to go to Grenada. Let us head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls.
Yeah, Mr.
Hello, caller. Good morning.
Yes, I'm calling again.
Could you turn off the radio, please? I'm getting some feedback.
That's the TV, because I'm watching you. Smile.
Yes, you're getting too much feedback.
Still?
Okay, go ahead now.
Okay, what I was saying, in America, they are saying they are going to ban guns, right? That's only a talk. The guns are making there. That means they will shut down the factory that's making them. And when they shoot people away, it's only the black they shoot in. And the white one, they're making a big song and dance out of it. But that ain't fair and that's not right for them to shoot. You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Well, I'm listening to you.
Okay, yeah, that's finished.
All right, thank you for your contribution. So I was saying on this sense is that an announcement was made. It says that the Ministry of Tourism and the St. Kitts Tourism Authority are pleased to announce that Premier Hotel Resort and Spa brand Six Senses will be making its Caribbean and Latin America debut on St. Kitts in 2021. It says that this marks yet another inaugural property in the region by a top-tier hotel brand for St. Kitts, following the opening of the Park Hyatt St. Kitts Crystal Harbour in November of last year. And sorry, when I said last year, that's referring to 2018. It went on to say that we sincerely look forward to welcoming the distinguished Six Senses brand to St. Kitts, said Minister of Tourism at the time, Lindsey Grant. It is 11:42. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. You're listening to The Edge for Friday, April 5th, 2024. And just like that, the week has come to an end. And I know some of you are extremely excited for the weekend. Others perhaps are not, because they probably have to come to work tomorrow. And so if you have to, well, you have to do what you have to do. Go out and make your money and do what you have to do. All right. If you're just tuning in, I shared earlier that Sean Richards has stepped down, announced that he will be stepping down. Six Senses going to Grenada instead of St. Kitts, and to get your thoughts and opinions on this. And a earthquake in New York, where citizens or nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis have taken to social media to mark themselves safe, and have reported that there has been no damage. I'm seeing from the New York Times that there are no immediate reports of damage in the area, and they will continue to monitor the situation. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation for today.
The Central Guest House and Apartments offer accommodation for the short-term and long-term visitor. We have several locations, ideally situated in Bastia or Capital, all within a short walking distance from the town center. For comfortable and affordable accommodation for business and pleasure, contact the Central Guest House and Apartments at 465-2278, 663-5756 or 465-4062. Your home away from home, the Central Guest House and Apartments.
Reach for DPH Cough and Cold for all your cold and flu symptoms, relief, rest, and ready again. Also available in children's formulation.
Hello, welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. We are about to wrap up in time for the midday newscast. The ZIZ midday newscast. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Edge for Friday, April 5th, 2024. And we looked at a few topics, Sean Richards stepping down, tourism in St. Kitts and Nevis in terms of 6 Senses going to the country. Well, I thought of something while we took a short break in terms of more hotels, and I asked the question, do we need more hotels in the country? Because, oftentimes when people talk about the country needing more jobs, the first thing that you would think of is getting more hotels to come to St. Kitts. And while I understand, yes, tourism is what we've been relying on, and or tourism is what we know, should that be the focus though? Should that be what we put so much time and effort and energy into? Why not we tap into different areas or try to invest in different areas? But one of the first things people would say when you talk about the performance of the economy or the country doing better in terms of providing more jobs, they would tell you the government needs to bring another hotel. While I can agree that yes, bringing the hotel would supply jobs to our people, long-term and short-term jobs, we cannot continue to place all of our eggs in one basket. And we have to get out of that mentality. And so investing in areas, and even if it involves us maybe taking a risk, but investing in different areas is definitely what we need to do. Instead of putting all of our eggs in one basket. While we have been focusing on tourism, or while tourism has been good to us, we also have the unfortunate situation of dealing with natural disasters, right? And so because of the natural disasters, they destroy our hotels, they destroy or cause damage to our attraction sites. And then we have to go to different areas of the economy. So why not shift the focus? And so in the event of natural disasters or any other thing, we can continue to thrive. We continue to have sustainable, good paying jobs in the country. It is 11:48 and you've been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I've been your host, Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me on the program. Now, to wrap up, I just want to use this platform to share some words of encouragement. There are people out there listening to me and, going about their daily lives, doing their thing. Sometimes when on my way to work, I pass people applying their trade, whether it be the bus drivers, whether it be people who are landscapers, people who are vendors trying to make $1. And sometimes you probably get up at mornings and you're like, boy, I have to do this thing again today. I'm here to encourage you to continue, do what you're doing. continue working hard, whether you are working to provide for your family, whether you are working hard to get to a goal or to accomplish something, you keep doing that. But you see people out there working honestly, working hard for their money and trying to make a contribution to their country, trying to make a contribution to their community. I want to say thank you for the hard work that you guys have been doing. You may not feel appreciated at the time, but somebody is looking at you and they appreciate the work that you do. And so I'm just here to say, keep going, keep pushing. But aside from that, there are other people, walking about St. Kitts and Nevis, going about their daily lives, and they're dealing with so much, they're handling so much, and sometimes you see them and you think, okay, all appears to be well. I just want to offer some words of encouragement to let you know that you can always seek help. There are different avenues, different services that are available in the country for you to go and seek help. If there is somebody that you want to talk to, if somebody who you think you can reach out and trust, do that. But I want to encourage you guys to keep doing what you're doing. Lift your head high, be positive, always think of solutions, things that could fix the problem. So instead of dwelling too much on the problem, think of solutions, things that could make the situation better. Until next time, you guys stay safe, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Use this weekend to rest or spend time with your family and friends, or relax, work on a project that you've been struggling with all week. I don't know, do something productive with your time. You guys have a good one. You've been listening to The Edge for Friday, April 5th, 2024. Coming up next is the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Stay tuned.